Okay, so again, we have our time, which we're not worried about the prep time, but the cooking time. Do we need to be concerned about that? And what were we saying? Yes, right? Because we said that what happened?
It can burn.
If we don't watch this time and we just keep going and doing other things, it could burn our muffins up.
Or a fire could start.
Or a fire could start, or we could get smoke in the oven, and then what happens?
You have to clean the oven.
Then our fire alarm goes off, and then, oh no. I don't want to go through that. Even though we will be getting fire alarms, and we don't want to be premature with that if we don't have to.
We'll also probably get wet to the sprinkler.
Oh yeah, you don't want the sprinklers going on.
And that's like a fire.
Anyway, so that's very important as a cooking time. I don't know if I can get this to go. I think I can get this a little closer so we can maybe see a little better. So then this is really the same thing. Serving and yield, that is the same thing. So what does that mean? It makes what?
How many people can eat it?
How many people or how many servings? So serving and yield is really the same thing. And you see the numbers the same. So it serves how many people? Not that one.
Depends on how many people there are.
No. How many are we going to get? How many portions, in other words?
Can you see that, Tony, from here?
8.
I'll move up.
I don't know why everyone's afraid to say 8, but it is 8. Okay?
I was going to say 8 in Spanish.
You were going to say in Spanish?
Yes.
Tony, do you
Okay.
have a hard time seeing the board?
Not really, usually.
You wear glasses?
I don't wear glasses.
You don't wear glasses, okay.
So, for this recipe, we are going to need all these ingredients. And when you guys look at recipes, I want you guys to think about tools. And I know last year, when you guys were here last year, I actually would give you a sheet and say, okay, what kind of tool do I need for this to measure this? So, we're going to need, if you look at everything that is in red, what can you tell me, why is it all in red?
It's dry ingredients.
It's all dry ingredients. Okay, very good. So, in order to measure the flour, what am I going to need? I need 3, 4, I think I need 4 tools. Does anybody can tell me what I'm going to need just for this flour?
Flat spatula.
Flat spatula for leveling.
You're going to need the cups.
You're going to need, what kind of cup?
Measuring cups.
1 cup, dry.
Yes.
Kevin, what else? What's that one?
Compliment.
I need a pointer. What's that one?
1 cup.
This is 1 cup and a
1
half cup.
cup.
That's a half cup. So can I do all that in 1 cup?
No.
So I need what?
You need 2 cups.
1 cup measure and a...
You need a half cup too.
Yes, so right there. So now how many tools do we have? Flat spatula, 1. Half cup dry measure, 2. 1 cup measure dry, 3. There's one more thing I'm going to need. Todd?
Tablespoons.
Well, no, we're just working on this. I'm just talking 4 tools just for this. So we're missing something. So when I measure, what are we going to put it in?
Bowl.
A bowl. All right, remember we went over the measuring. Actually, you guys did the sheet today on measuring. So you're going to need the bowl to put it in. The sugar, what are we going to need for that? A 3/4 cup. All right, I think in our measuring tools, we don't always have the 3/4 cup. So you can do a 1/4 cup. How many times? If I don't have a 3/4, I could do 1/4, so that's a 1.
You can do that twice.
Well, what's that number there?
A half.
No, the number on top. 3. So I have to do the 1/4 how many times?
3 times.
3 times to get 3/4. That all goes in the same bowl. Half a teaspoon. So I just need what? Half a teaspoon. But I also need something to level that off. And then 2 teaspoons of baking powder leveled off. All right? So I'm just going to show you a little, go ahead because I have it color coded here. So this step here, you have everything in that one bowl. All right? Combine the flour, sugar, salt, and baking powder. And if you want to look in here, what is the first step they say to do? What's this right here say?
Protect oven.
Preheat
Preheat
oven.
oven to 400 degrees.
So what does that mean, a preheat oven?
That means to put That means to heat it, like turn it on and leave it for a while, then turn it on
Exactly.
again and put the food in.
Because what does the temperature have to get to?
400 degrees.
400 degrees, that's kind of high. I hate cooking that high of a temperature, but it does say we have to preheat to 400 degrees. So if we made all this stuff and then said, oh, wait a minute, let's get the oven on, could we put it right in?
No.
No, because we didn't what? Preheat it. So a lot of times they have this as a first step because they want you to make sure that when you do get all these ingredients together and you get it in your pans, that your oven's ready to go. So you're not sitting there for 10 minutes and saying, now I gotta sit 10 minutes. Because what happened to our prep time now? All this got pulled back. Our cook time's gonna take longer. The prep time, because we have to wait around. So think about that. Somebody had a hand.
Because if we like put the muffins in and then while it's preheated, it's just gonna make the muffins deformed.
Right, if you put it in right away, they're not gonna cook properly, okay? So we gotta be careful with that. So we have to make sure that the oven's on the correct temperature because it's gonna cook correctly. Very good, that is a very good point. So, now, I have all the stuff in green.
Or they're gonna be wet ingredients.
Wet or liquid ingredients, very good. The green is all liquid or wet ingredients. So what kind of tool am I gonna need for that? We went over it yesterday.
I know.
What?
They're gonna need the liquid measuring cup.
Very good. Right on the money. Liquid measuring cup. Because truthfully, we can find a 1/3 cup on there. We can find a 1/2 cup on the liquid measure. We can find a 3/4 cup. All that's on our liquid measure. And usually I have a smaller one. I still have the liquid in here from yesterday, I have to say it. But yeah, you have all the different measurements. And this is actually a 2 cup. I want a smaller cup than this. But
Yeah, you brought the seawater back.
I brought the water. It's Bahama water. From the Bahamas. Alright. So then we're gonna need 1 egg. Do we just throw an egg in there or we have to do something?
Yep.
We need to crack it. And a lot of times I'll crack that in a small bowl on the side because what do we have to be concerned about when we crack an egg?
Shells.
Shells. Alright, we don't want to get shells in the whole mixture of the oil and all that. So we usually crack the egg on the side in a small bowl. 1/3 cup of milk, what could we measure that in? Somebody else. What kind of measuring are we going to put the milk in? Oh no, he left me out here. He's second year, he should know.
What's the question about?
So we are just going to use a, same thing we use for this. They're both what? Liquid? Liquid measuring cup. Tony knew that, he was just trying to hold back and make somebody else answer, right? That's what I was trying to do too.
I was
So-
just thinking about that in my head.
Yeah. So with all this, I would do, after I got all this, I would maybe combine all this and mix it. Let's see what it says. Vegetable, 1 cup measuring cup. Add the eggs, enough milk to reach the cup mark. So they're actually saying all this is gonna make a cup. I don't know if I wanna do that. I'd put that all in a bowl, and actually what I might do is I'd mix it all together. The egg, the oil, the milk, and I'd mix all that so it's all one liquid. All right, so sometimes you'll see Chef K doesn't always go by what the recipe says. I like to kind of do it the way I think is gonna be better. But anyway, so we have the dry, we have the liquid, and then we're gonna mix the liquid with the flour mixture. So we're gonna add the liquid to the dry, and then the last part is if we're gonna use the blueberries for the whole thing, depending on how we're gonna do this, we would fold the blueberries in, and the blueberries is just 1 cup it says. So we can measure that, truthfully you can measure that in either liquid or dry. I guess I would say dry would be easier, you know, because you can just fill it up. But I don't think the liquid's gonna be a big deal because the liquid you still see where the 1 cup is on there. So basically all the ingredients are combined and then you fold the blueberries in. It's just saying, you don't take a whisk and whisk that in because what's gonna happen to the blueberries? It's gonna mush them up. And then the whole batter is gonna churn what?
Soggy.
It's gonna churn like a blue. The whole thing's gonna get like blue or purplish, whatever the color of the blueberries are. They're kind of like purplish really. That's why I
Awesome.
put that. It might look awesome, But really with blueberry muffins, you kind of want to still see the muffin color, like the yellowish or the whitish color. All right, but anyway, folding in is basically you're just taking a rubber spatula and just going from the top to the bottom. You're just gently incorporating into the mixture. And then the last thing is just fill the muffins. With the muffin, we're gonna do the liners. The liners, we're gonna put it in liners in a pans, because if you don't, is it gonna be hard to clean them pans?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the stuff sticks in there, so we always use the muffin liners. In other words, it'll come right out of the pan and will be less to clean out in that pan.
And you're gonna have to leave it in there, the soap.
You'd have to leave the soak, and then you gotta scrub it, and
Also,
very time consuming.
I might do this at home. I might get 2 things of blueberries. I might use one to make my muffins blue, and then I can put
You
the
could
other
do
two
that.
blueberries in.
You could do that, or like somebody was saying they wanted chocolate chips, you could do half a batch with blueberries and half a batch with chocolate chips. You just have to divide the batter. And this one does have a mixture. I put it in blue. So this is basically a crumb mixture. It's sugar, flour, butter, and cinnamon. So anybody ever have like apple crisp and stuff like that? Where it's kind of like similar to the crumb topping. That's what kind of they want you to make for this. I don't know. I don't think we have butter. Actually, I don't think I forgot to get that. Actually, I forgot to tell Mrs. Mondella to get that too. But we could, if we find it, we could do sugar, we could do flour, and we could maybe do cinnamon. That's if you guys want that on your muffins, kind of just a sprinkling on top, or in the middle you can do it too. Yes?
I've had crumb cake and I've had coffee cake.
Yeah, crumb cake and coffee, and it's pretty similar. Sometimes they'll use brown sugar in it too, you know, because that's more clumped up together. So we could even do a little brown sugar and flour and do it that way too. All right? So that's basically the recipe that we're gonna do today. And we'll get you guys in the kitchen and we'll start working on that.
Oh,
And we'll work on it as a group. We'll kind of each help out with prepping, and we'll get that going. All right? All right.